and sisters. It's so good to see you here today. Today I am pleased to express my sincerest appreciation to all the members of Project Plowshare in Edmonton who have persevered so many years as part of the international campaign to rid the good earth of all nuclear weapons. I also respect to a long-time Earth peace activist and nuclear bomb abolitionist, Harry Stranatka, who passed on during the past year. It was Harry who so remarkably coordinated the protests in Edmonton to resist the testing of cruise missiles in Alberta and the Northwest Territories. I also wish to remember Linda Bull, a past speaker at these events who passed on prematurely. We are thankful to Dr. Yasu Mitsuka for assisting in making arrangements so that our visitors from Japan could be in our presence today. Domo arigato. Kanpai. We are all thankful for the good recovery Helen Reddy is making after her unfortunate recent fall. Helen, your contributions to the Earth Peace movement have been very significant and appreciated. Please take good care of yourself so you can continue to serve humanity as you have for so many years. Today I wish to outline what I consider to be a new dimension in the quest to rid our Mother Earth of all nuclear weapons, and yes, to finally lead all my brothers and sisters around the earth to desist from warfare. I must credit Dave Hubert, who wrote the illuminating book Canada at Peace, for influencing my frame of mind. Thank you, Dave. In 1995, when I traveled to Hiroshima and Nagasaki with the American Fellowship of Reconciliation delegation, our group overnighted at a friend's house in Honolulu. It was there that I met a young Quaker woman who was preoccupied with the human trait of violence, an essential ingredient for the conduct of war. I immediately wanted to establish a research liaison with her, but unfortunately, she informed me that unless I had email capability, there would be no correspondence between us. Nevertheless, she exerted some influence in my thinking. A basic question arises. Are human beings prone to violence because of genetic factors? That is, are we like so many lower animals that are predatory toward each other? I do not believe that is the case. I believe that culture determines whether we grew up to be warlike or pacifist. The Hopi people who live on the high Colorado Plateau in the American Southwest have had a long tradition of pacifist behavior. It is only since the Vietnam War and the pressures of assimilation that there has been a discernible change. Beatrice and I and our eldest son lived next to the Hopi for a year. They were great neighbors. Beatrice and I visited quite a few years ago the Sandpoil people who live on the Columbia Plateau in northern Washington state. The elders we talked to confirmed that their society was traditionally pacifist, but regrettably, the Vietnam War also negatively impacted them. When Bill Clinton was the President of the United States, he sensed the serious violence that persisted in the domestic society. It is hardly known that he called representatives of the media, movie producers, and manufacturers of war games to the White House to see what could be done to stop producing popular products that in some way or another aided the perpetuation of violence in society. It is evident today that his effort failed. He certainly deserves credit for trying, and I hope that other national leaders will follow his inclination. Recently, I was in a Southside Staples store. I saw a large counter full of video games of the kind that children would buy or their parents would buy for them. I would estimate that 2/3 of the games were violent in nature. I believe that when children are exposed to these kinds of toys, their long-term mindset can be profoundly affected. It also seems to me that the human trait of greed is a contributor to violence and war. The industrialized nations, who have such a high standard of living compared to those in the third world, are relentless in garnering the natural resources of other nations to maintain what could be referred to as ridiculously excessive consumption. As we have seen in numerous Central American insurgencies, the impoverished people are capable of fighting back against domination by industrialized and militarized neighbors. Another quality of highly industrialized societies that I feel contributes to violence and war is the long pattern of rugged individualism. By that I mean a trait in the cultures that stresses often excessive individual political and financial power at the expense of collective welfare. Put in other words, a quality of life that does not focus on cooperation, which is vital for national and international harmony. Others would say that the rugged individualism is an expression of rampant capitalism and a disparaging class system. Brothers and sisters, if we are to achieve Earth peace, we must respect our Earth Mother and all the fruits she provides, and secondly, we must nourish a culture of peace, a culture that is devoid of violence, greed, and rugged individualism. Thank you. Domo arigato. Creator, I pray that you will help us to achieve such worthy ends. Haiwa, peace.
Thank you.